God's got this. Like, he will give you the grace to deal with this in this situation. I think in moments that we find ourselves where we don't know what the next step is, whether it's the fact that you're single and maybe in your mid-20s and have never really had a boyfriend and thinking like, okay, will I ever get married? Maybe you will, maybe you won't. Like, that's a hard spot, but like being like, okay, God's got this. God knows exactly where you are. He knows the situations. He knows the people around you, like trusting him with that. Or if you're dealing with your father or mother who's sick and basically dying, and you're having to walk them through these last days of their life, like, by God's grace, he'll give you the grace there. I have a friend recently. I actually have two friends recently whose parents have died. One of my friends, it was her mom, and the other friend, it was her dad. And I was just so in awe of the way these women are friends of mine, and we have like this community of women on Marco Polo, and they just, I don't know, so beautifully share their hearts with us other women. And we got to really be with each other through that and pray for and intercede for each other. One of them, I actually had a situation this morning where children were fighting, and I just was very angry. And my immediate response was anger, and was to grab this child by the face and shove their face in the dog poop. And I clarified with my friend. I called her and I was like, hey, she's like, oh, I'm about to walk into mass. I only have a minute. I'm like, I only need a minute. I'm driving home, but I'm really frustrated. And this is what I want to do. I want to take that child's face and rub it in dog poop. I know that's probably not what I should do. And she was just so beautiful and so loving. And she wasn't judgmental at all. And she's like, okay, Cameron, first off, that child is hurting. Yes, they are reflecting their anger at your other children, and probably at you and at the dog and at the situation of the dog pooping on the floor. But ultimately, it's what's going on internally. That child is dealing with not loving himself or herself. The anger is within. So when there's anger boiling over within, it's going to come out at different people, right? And there's different things that different kids are going through, and hormonal years add to that, right? I know one of our patron questions was about that with teenagers, and I know that's really hard. And even with toddlers, I feel like toddlers and teenagers are really similar. They're both hard to parent. Some are way cuter than others. But yeah, it's hard. And my friend was so beautiful. She just heard me where I was, and she's like, God's got this. Like, he will give you the grace to deal with this in this situation. I'm going to go into mass right now, and I'm going to pray for you and this child and the other children that are affected by this child being angry and upset. And I'm praying for you, but you need to respond with love and try to hear this child out where they are. Ask him or her how they're feeling. Sorry, I'm doing like this him or her thing because I don't want you to know which child of mine this is. And so I have both boys and girls. But letting that child like share their heart and what's really going on and get to the bottom of it and try to keep loving them. Like, you're only going to help them with love, not anger.